I think it's that time. I think it's that time. That time where, again, we come back from the weekend, the time that we all gather up, the time that we get a little excited. Because, damn it, people, it's time to trade. Yes, it is Money Monday. We are here. We are excited. We are absolutely jacked on up from our toes to our foreheads, ready to get after it here. Because I am ready to rock. Already today, it's waking on up with nothing but absolutely beauty in this market. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean CHNR. Stock is currently up 85%, looking to break through new highs right now, and CHNR is starting to get a little bit of a squeeze. STI. STI this morning. Good, credible news. But right now, team, let's not go over absolutely every play. Let's see again where we can start making money. CHNR is where the majority of traders are looking at this time. Now, the thing is about CHNR, there is no news right now. It's spiking off of who knows. It's spiking off of because it's a low float play. 530K in float. CHNR is now going from the price of $5 and is looking to rip and run to, let's take a look at the past chart history pattern. So is there any old spiking high that maybe, again, we're about to run into? Switch over to a weekly chart. Our weekly chart shows us that we have room to run up to 1468. That would be the next major resistance line on this play. I really don't see too much past chart history pattern. There is not a lot of old spiking high areas. What I would say is the 200-day moving average or 200-week moving average at the price around 1480, that is going to be our goal. And as you guys can already see right now, CHNR is getting some hype. CHNR is picking on up, and traders are definitely getting excited about this play. So you basically have two different options. Either jump in right now. You can try to wait for a pullback. You can try to look to be able to short it once we do get up towards that, top area, 14 bucks. I think the smartest thing for us to be able to do would be look for entries in the low $10, looking for that run up to $14. But that's if you're interested on the buy side. Some people might be saying, Dek, I don't even want to buy this play. There's no even credible reason on why it's up. At the same time, momentum is strong right now. At the same time, people are excited. So if we do take a little bit of a step back here, we can actually head on over here and see what's going on with CHNR, because we can see top gainers of all stocks today. Right now, CHNR is currently leading the charge. Just became the #1 top gainer. Now we can see this also came out about 8 minutes ago. It says CHNR is up 71%. But on what? On nothing other than a low float. CHNR, low float, no news, has a low float of 530K shares. Now, simply enough, all the float is the shares available to the public. If you have a low supply and you have everyone buying this play, price increases. That's simple economics. Low supply, high demand, price is going to increase dramatically. Right now, every single person that's awake, right now, every single person that wants to get involved, right now, every single person who wants to make some money in the stock market, especially day traders, are running over on CHNR. So we only have 530,000 shares available to the public. That's what we're all fighting over. So that's why the stock is increasing in price so quickly, because every single person is trying to get those. Now, with that being stated, some people are going to say, well, Dek, this is just a momentum play. Yes, it had a lot of hype. Yes, people, again, felt that a sense of FOMO, that sense of fear of missing out. And the stock absolutely exploded on up. But now, again, it could easily start turning and fading and falling. Let's just see how much are shares to short. Can we go ahead, grab some shares, short this play on down, and see if we can get ready to make some money on the downside? So CHNR. Dek, what would be a good amount of shares? Let's say, again, 2,000 shares right here. Inquire with 2,000 shares. 2,000 shares. Locate lowest. How much is it going to cost us here? This is going to cost us, hold on a second. Let's go to locate lowest. And that is going to be bringing up right here. Could be expensive. We have total cost $700. Locate 4 is $197. So again, they're pretty expensive shorts right now, team. And the reason why they're so expensive on the short side at this moment, the reason why they're so expensive at this moment is because every single person wants to get involved on this play, right? Every single person is saying to themselves, hey, you know what? This is probably going to be the best shorting opportunity. Let me just do 1,000 shares here. 1,000 shares, locate lowest. What do we have at this moment? That is going to be, again, $501 for 1,000 shares. It's too expensive right now, at least. Right? This is too expensive. I'm actually going to refresh this, though, because I think I'm only getting certain I think I'm only getting certain locates, and I want to obviously get every single locate possible. So let me just make sure that we are all good here. Let me bring this all on up. We'll be all set, ready to rock and rolls. Bring that on over. Bada boom, bada bing. And then I do want to just test that out one more time. Obviously, CHNR is the #1 top gainer of the day. We do know there is no credibility at this time. The best press release with credibility at this time is STI. Little heads on up, we can see top gainers with news or filings. STI is the #1 best player. Okay? So if you're looking for credibility, STI is where you want to look at. If you're looking for a stock that, again, we're just looking to see if it can go crazy, CHNR is where you guys want to be looking at. So you guys do have two different options if you guys are interested over in this market here. And that's either go for the crazy one with no credibility or go with more credibility, but the stock's not going as wild at this moment. And as I said, I'm going to try to locate these shorts one more time here, just because I do feel like before it was only giving me certain routes. So I'm just going to check this out real quick. 1,000 shares. I know, again, CHNR is also still trying to squeeze. Locate lowest. And what do we got here? Yeah, total cost $500 for 1,000 shares. Unfortunately, that's just too expensive for me. So I refreshed everything, making sure I was getting every single locate. It's just too expensive. So, Dek, what does that mean? That means, again, you really only have two options. Number one, you accept the $500 fee, and you're going to have a 50-cent drop before you start making profit. Or number two, you say to yourself, okay, I'm only going to look for dip buys. I'm going to look for dip buys. I know the stock is very hot and active. I could maybe go from $10 back up to $11. I could possibly go $8.75 back up to $10. So you basically have those two options here. Now, again, CHNR is getting a nice big pullback, guys. Maybe we do get ready for this possible dip. Limit order, 250 shares. Dek, where do you feel comfortable getting a dip buy? I would say 860 or lower, right? 860 or lower is where I would like to go. So I'll put an order in at 860. I'll put an order in at 850. I'll put an order in at 840. I'll put an order down towards around 830 and basically just try to spread out a whole bunch of different entries that if I could ever get filled down towards some low bottoms, I know that those would be good dip buy opportunities. So the thing that I'm always thinking about here, traders, when I'm getting involved in a play, and again, let me slow things down because I know this market is already so hot, is every single morning I'm waking up and I'm asking myself, what's the hottest play? I want to play stocks that are hot. I want to play stocks that are active. I want to play stocks that are going to make us money. But at the same time, I do not ever like buying stocks that are already up to 180% and I'm buying at the top hoping that it continues to move up higher. That's not what I like to do. What I like to do is say, okay, a stock just spiked up 180%. I know it's active. I know it's hot. I know traders are making money over on this play. Now let me try to get an entry that I feel like is good. So guys, CHNR just went from $11.50, just crashed on down towards $8. And right now, I did just pull the trigger over on this play. I'm in right now. Dek, what's your cost basis? $8.35. Stock just went from $11.50. I didn't buy at $11.50. I didn't buy at 11. I didn't buy at 10. I didn't buy at 9. I didn't buy at $8.50. I just waited for a $2 drop for me to get filled on this play. I did just get filled with 1,500 shares on the stock at this moment. So this stock, again, did just have a $11 down towards $8 drop. I would like to see if it could bounce back up towards like $8.50 to $8.75 and try to make a little bit of money here. So again, I did just get filled on the stock, and we did just get about a 50% pullback over on this play. I am currently in the red, but again, what I always want to stress to every single person is do not buy the tops. Because I know there's too many people here that probably have bought before at 11, at 10, at 9. And when you have a stock with no credibility, you have a stock with no reason to be up. Okay? You have a stock that has no reason to be up in the first place. So what I want you guys to always be thinking about when you guys are trading is, hey, you know what? Let me do things right. Let me, again, wait for drops where people are going to see, wow, this is probably a dip opportunity for me to be able to make money over on this play here. So let's see. Guys, to be frank with you, I'm going to get out right here, right at where I entered. And I know some of you guys might be scratching your head and saying, Dek, why are you getting out right where you entered? Is because of this. I want to slow things on down here for a second. I'm going to literally break even 0 out of 0 here for a second here, team. And I just want to do things right. And I want to show you guys my entry and exit. So as you guys can see right here, I did just get out 1,500 shares at $8.35. Let me explain what I'm doing. Let me explain what just happened. CHNR. No trades. Everyone, let's focus over on the live stream. CHNR. This play here, we just had a very big move. We just went from the price of $5 and we just ripped and ran all the way up towards the price of $11.50. Okay? 11.50s here, $5 here. What was the total spike that we just did? We just went on a total spike of $6.50. Now, we spiked $6.50 with no news, with no credibility. I think to myself most times, let me look for a dip buy after around a 40 to 45% pullback. That's what I always kind of shoot for. If I could get about a 40 to 45% pullback, that's where I feel like is a good dip. Because again, how many times as a visual have you guys ever seen this? Stock spikes its way on up, comes back on down, builds a higher low, moves its way back on up, comes back on down, builds a little higher low, moves its way back on up. I know most people don't realize this, but this climb from here to here, usually if we count this as, let's say, a $3 move, this pullback usually will be about $1.50. Then we might get about another $3 move, and then this pullback is usually going to be right around $1.50. And then we usually see about a $3 move. It's usually around a 40 to 45% pullback for a healthy stock to continue to move itself on up. So let's go back to, again, what I just did. I just went from $5 up towards $11.50. Now, that in total is a $6.50 move. Let's subtract this here for a second of, let's just go with $3.25. If we say, all right, 50% of, again, 650 is 325. From the price of 1150, what does that bring us down to? Well, we have 1150 down to 1050, down towards 950. Now, again, that's going to be bringing us on down towards 850, and we want to have a cost basis right around that 830, 840 mark. That's going to be giving us what? That 45% pullback area. So for any single person right now that ever said, hey, Dek, that was a bad entry. No, it wasn't. It was not. And I will, again, stand ground on that. Because the thing is, if we look at this play, we have a totally of a $6.50 climb. I got in after about a $3.25 pullback. Not buying at the very tippity top, but also not buying when the stock is dead. Looking ultimately for the stock to be able to build and consistently climb with higher lows right here. Now, what happened though? Right? What happened? The stock did go a little bit lower than what I wanted. The stock did drop on down towards 740 there, 750 there, 760 there. To be honest with you, I just didn't feel too comfortable. I did have entries that I did feel comfortable on. I had entries, of course, at the 860s. I had entries, of course, at the 850s. I had entries at the 840s. I had entries at the 830s. I had entries at the 820s. And essentially what I wanted to do, you see this big, long, lower shadow? I wanted this to lower shadow into my entries and then basically float around $9, right? That's what I wanted. I wanted this to lower shadow into my entries, and then we pop on up towards $9 plus. Instead, guess what happened? We basically crashed through my entries, lower shadowed on about a 52% drop, and then we bounced back up to my entry. Now, I'm just being realistic with myself. I'm saying to myself, you know what? I was looking to get in at the bottom and profit off the bounce. This stock went lower than what I wanted and then bounced back up for me to be back in even. Sure, I could sit here and I could say, let me keep on holding, hoping that goes up higher. But that's now going against my game plan. My game plan was I catch the bottom, we bounce into the profit. Not we catch the play, fall into the red, and bounce back into even. So why did I get out at the same exact entry that I got in? Because again, I got in at 840, 850, 830, 820, 810. That gave me the overall cost basis of 835, and I got out at 835. It's just because this is now going against my game plan. I'm just explaining that because I don't want anyone being like, oh, what happened there? So $0 win, $0 loss. Instead, if I kept on holding this play, I would be down about $400 right now if I kept holding. If you do not have a game plan that works, this is not a game. And I know there are so many people out there who think this is a type of game where you say to yourself, oh yeah, hey, we'll have plan B. Guys, when it comes to stock trading, I'm going to be very frank with you. My plan B is about enforcing plan A. Plan A should be so good that I don't need a plan B. Plan B is let me get out and let's look for a new plan A. Plan B should not be, okay, well, plan A is I get in on this play. And if plan B, if plan A doesn't work, then again, plan B is I hold it a little bit longer. And then maybe plan C, I just add a little bit more. And now again, plan D, now I'm looking to see if this is going to get, I'm not doing that. That's how you start gambling. That's how you start putting yourself in trouble. That's how you start adding too many positions and shares. But what I want you guys to understand is it's okay to just break even sometimes. If you do not see the play working exactly how you want it to work, break even and say, you know what? No harm, no foul, nothing hurt whatsoever. But one of my biggest issues when I first started stock trading was I would always allow for my stop loss to get hit. I would always allow for my stop loss to get hit every single time I would trade. I would either say, hey, I'm making a lot of money, or I'm going to allow it to lose me a lot of money. And I know some people might be like that right now. You set a stop loss, you say, I'm doing the right thing. But the thing is, you might see that the stock's not doing as well as you want it. You might see that the stock isn't spiking on up the way that you wanted. And at the same time, guess what? It starts fading and falling and dropping. And then you say to yourself, you know what? Let me get out. You don't need to have your stop loss get hit before you move on from a play. Just say it's not doing what I want. Let me start fresh. Hey, I would rather lose $0 than 500. So right now we're back to fresh, looking for, again, that next play. So let's keep pushing on. Let's look for that next play. Let's look for that next spike. Now, also a little side note, guys, if this is one of the only live streams you see with actual live trading, if this is one of the only live streams you see that is giving you guys nonstop education, giving you guys the nonstop transparency, helping you guys grow every single day, smash that thumbs up right now. Smash that thumbs on up over on StockTwits, over on Twitter, over on Tradecaster, over on YouTube. Let's get ready to go here, team. And let's look for that next possible play and that next possible trade. So what's next do we have? Well, we also have STI. And STI, guys, is the #1 stock with actual credibility going into today. So we do have at this moment, excuse me, we do have at this moment CHNR fading on off, but we have top gainers with news or filings. And STI is one of those plays. We can actually see right here, STI on the scanner, on the feed right here, came out at 6 a.m. this morning. And the STI is up 96%. And it did come out with a very solid press release. It says, SNI unveils advanced UPS battery system tailored for AI data centers. So we definitely like this a lot. We want to see, okay, hey, we have AI data centers. That could be a keyword if you guys have data centers as a keyword. And we also have batteries, which is a pretty hot, keyword because everything's running off batteries nowadays. If that's drones, if that's EV vehicles, if that's, again, being able to power AI, right? We need batteries. We need energy sources. That's what's, again, keeping everything moving. So we did have a good credible press release over on STI. We can actually scroll down right here. This came out at 6:40 a.m. It says STI unveils advanced UPS battery system tailored for AI, advanced US battery system for AI data centers. And we could see, of course, this was a good, credible press release that brought in hype, brought in the momentum. And again, traders were looking to see if this one was going to be able to continue. As of now, STI, it's a low float stock that looks like it's ready to erupt. We have 1 million in float. As we know, it's a very low float play. Stock has gone down from 560 and has spiked all the way up to 1339. Right now, we are currently sitting right around that 1070-ish mark. Let's go back over to STI. I'm kind of crossing off CHNR. And again, I would have loved the short CHNR, but CHNR was just too expensive. $500 to short 1,000 shares. For me, yes, I would have made more than that, but it's still very kind of tough to jump into a trade when you're already down $500, right? So STI, this is definitely a stock that we want to be watching. This is definitely a stock that we want to be aware of. Now, STI at this moment is going to have a couple key lines of resistance. Number one, we are going to have a key line of resistance coming up towards around $12. Why? We spiked up to $12. We faded back on down. We spiked up to $12. We faded back on down. We had bounce plays off $12. $12 is going to be very tough to get back above, and it's probably going to be a great area to do some shorts. On top of that, what else do we have here? 1360. 1360 area, guys, top resistance. So you guys can see 1360 top, 1360 top. These are going to be top resistance areas that we are going to be watching if $12 ever breaks. Now, STI, this is probably going to be a little bit cheaper to be able to go ahead and short if you guys are interested on it. So let's just type in STI. Let's say, again, we want 1,000 shares. We're going to inquire all, locate the lowest out of all of them, and let's see how much it costs. Even this, though, is a little pricey. $280. That means with 1,000 shares, I need to make back 28 cents. So if I get involved on STI, let's say at the price of $12, I technically wouldn't be in the green until the stock goes back underneath around that, 1182 mark. Or excuse me, even more than that, 1172. We would need about a 28-cent drop before, again, we actually start making money. So far today, the shorts have been a little expensive. Basically, we've only had opportunities to go on the long side. So let's see. Let's see what's going to be coming on up here. I'm really excited. Now, I know a lot of people, though, you guys want to know there's some other big things going on here. Now, if anyone was not here on Friday, there was some massive news. Now, what do I mean by that? The S&P 500 just had one of its worst days in history. And you might say, Deck, what are you talking about? If you were not here on Friday, the S&P 500, yes, everyone, had one of its worst one-day drops ever recorded. If we go back over to a 5-minute time frame, the SPY was sitting at record highs at 674, and it fell from 674 and dropped all the way down to 646, a $30 drop over on the S&P 500. I mean, team, that is absolutely insane. That is like unheard of, right? We can see how big everything was getting wiped out. The Dow down 878 points, NASDAQ down 828 points, S&P 500 currently down 182 points. We have seen so many big drops, big fades, and big falls. So it was very scary to see that this market just having this ginormous red candle. I mean, guys, look at this. This is just opening on up and foop, crashed right back on down. So huge red candle. Now, good news is we are getting a little bit of a recovery at this moment. But what happened here? Can we take a second, guys, and just go over what really happened? So let's scroll on down to the bottom here, and let's talk about what we have. All right? This is over on Fox Runner. So just a little heads up. It says tariff talk is back, and that means fear is back. The S&P 500 experiences its biggest one-day drop in 2025. It says on Friday morning, the S&P 500 was less than a couple points away from another all-time high. Then after a single social media post from President Donald Trump, $2 trillion in market value was wiped out. The unraveling shows that the sway of the president's one main trade policy still has over the fate of the global economy. Trump, at 10:57 a.m. Eastern Time, wrote on its Truth Social platform that China was becoming very hostile with the rest of the world, especially when it comes to control the rare earth metals. He accused China of holding the world captive because of its monopoly on the crucial resources. The key part of the stock market reacted at the 500-word Trump post. One of the policies that we're calculating at the moment is a massive increase on tariffs on China's products coming to the United States of America, right? And that's all it took. So basically what we have here, team, for anyone that's wondering, Deck, why did the SPY drop so big? Why did we have our biggest one-day drop in 2025? What we had is we had Trump come on out, and he realizes that China basically has a monopoly on all the rare earth metals. And guess what? The United States wants some of that. We don't want to fall into paying China over and over and over and over and over for these metals. But at the same time, guess what? That's going to lead to fear. They say, hey, if you guys want to have a monopoly over these rare earth metals, we are going to tax you, or we are going to do tariffs on you higher than ever before. And guess what? This sounds like deja vu. This sounds like something we've gone through before. People start getting nervous. Why is that? Because we think about the S&P 500 back in February, in March, in April. Remember back in February, March, and April where the S&P 500 went from $600 and fell all the way down to $481 because no one knew what was going to happen with tariffs? It's not that tariffs are a bad thing. It's the fact that we are nervous about what tariffs could lead to. Now, what I mean by that is tariffs could be the greatest policy ever. It could be. I don't know. You don't know. But at the same time, tariffs could also lead towards more expensive, having higher prices for everything. It could lead towards trade wars. It could lead towards tension. It could lead towards broken relationships. Something that you need to understand about the stock market is the stock market essentially moves not even from stocks going up. That's not even what it's about. The stock market is going to be moving from emotion. When people are confident, and it's, yeah, the S&P 500 moves every day. People are, again, making money. People put more money in. They buy. They have confidence. They have FOMO. They want to put money in. There's high senses of greed. But when all of a sudden we have, hey, we want to retaliate to China. Hey, they're being hostile. Hey, we're going to do tariffs higher to them, and they're going to do tariffs back to us. That leads to uncertainty. That leads to fear. That leads to things that we don't know what's going to happen next. And when you don't know what's going to happen next, that's when you're more scared. Even if it's not a big deal, you're still scared at this moment. Perfect example of this, guys, would be, what if you guys have never seen a scary movie, right? You guys might be getting nervous because something's about to jump out. You don't know when it's going to happen. What if you watch that scary movie 2 or 3 times? Is it nearly as scary anymore? No, not at all, because you know every part that's going to happen. See, the thing is, guys, thinking about the future, it's very easy to always think about worst case scenario. When we think about the future and we think about, all right, yeah, tariffs are going to happen, it's very easy to say, oh, yeah, we're going to do tariffs. They're going to do tariffs on us. There's going to be a trade war that's going to happen. There's going to be a Cold War before the United States and China. Then all of a sudden, there's going to be a big, massive war. And it's like, guys, none of this even happened. Like, that didn't happen at all. But at the same time, it's easy to kind of think and have our imaginations explode. And guess what? That's where people say, you know what? I'm going to start, taking my money out of the market. I'm going to hold it as fear. So that's what leads to these tariffs dropping and the fear of uncertainty, the fear of what we don't know, right? So that's what basically we have right here. So you could see we did have the Dow fall massive, the S&P 500 fall massive, NASDAQ fell massive. Now, on top of that, traders, there was more than just tariff talk from Trump. It says additional factors contributed to the decline. High market valuations, particularly in AI and tech sectors, made stocks vulnerable to shocks, with companies like Nvidia falling 5%, AMD falling 7%. They were hit hard due to the sensitivity of the U.S. trade dynamics. So anything that has to do with AI and the chips that are being sold in China, those are getting hit. The ongoing U.S. government shutdown. Hey, guys, the government has been shut down for the last 2 weeks now. It's been 10 days. And add uncertainty by delaying key economic data. So it's almost like everything's getting built up. You guys ever get in an argument with a significant other, and maybe, again, your significant other just didn't put her dishes away, and you just get furious one day, and you're just like, stop, put the dishes away. And she's like, whoa, it's just dishes. And you're like, well, it's also the dishes, and it's also the laundry, and it's also, again, you embarrassed me in front of my friends the other night, and maybe it was a build-up of things. Maybe, again, the S&P 500 has what? We have tariffs, but we also have stocks being overvaluated in AI. We have stocks getting hit by China now. We have a delay in economic data. We have uncertainty. So it's kind of more of a buildup of multiple things. It's not just that. Hey, right now here, though, team, we got 20 seconds until the next press release wave. We can get back to the S&P 500 talk if things slow on down over on any sort of hot play here. But every single trader, guys, let's watch this together. So this is what we want to do. This is what we always want to understand. Every 30 minutes, 7 o'clock, 7:30, and now 8 o'clock, we have news come out. We look for low float stocks that are going to be having hot press releases. If we see a good, credible press release, positive data, good partnerships, that's going to lead to buyers moving in on plays. We have a quantum press release that just came on out, HOLO. Quantum's been a rather hot topic, so that's why I have it as a hotter keyword. Let's see what else we have here. Late breaking phase trial, CDTX. Let's see if something, again, can maybe catch some fire. Solana, private placement press releases have been very hot recently, guys. NDRA, everyone go turn your attention towards it. NDRA just came out with a private press placement just 1 minute ago, just went from $6 up to $10. Notice how I have the word placement as keywords. It's highlighted in green. Private placements have been so hot over the past month, but not all of them have held very well. They do go on very hard spikes, but they also come crashing all the way back on down. So please just make sure that you guys are aware of this one. This one has a lot of hype. This one has a lot of attention, and traders are definitely excited about it. Private placement of $14.4 million over on NDRA. Notice every single trader is running over towards this play right now. People are getting excited about it, and that's what it really comes on down to. We see spikes, we see rips, we see runs. Dek, are there any shares available to short over on NDRA? Let's see. We also have a breakthrough press release. We can check that on out here for a second. NDRA, inquire shares over on this play. Let's see if we can locate lowest amount. How much can we get? Are these going to be super expensive? Only $25. Okay, that's not that bad. I'm actually going to locate those shares over on NDRA, see if I can be able to get 1,000 shares over on this play. I got rejected here. Hold on, because probably a lot of people are trying to get them. Let's see, NDRA. It's still saying rejected. Inquire all. Locate lowest. Let's go to cancel. And right now, there's just no shares available to short. So right now, team NDRA still, again, the best play. NDRA. But if for anyone that's ever wondering, it's like, Dek, how do you find your news so quickly? This is exactly the strategy that I do. So I know private placement press releases have been very hot. And again, notice, if you can catch these plays quick enough or even short them after seeing spikes, that's why news is so important. Because number one, you either find news right away and you buy it for the massive breakout, Or you see a stock go on a massive spike, and now you know, okay, hey, let me go ahead and get ready for a short on these plays. Regardless, if you go on the long side or if you go on the short side, you want to be a person that could be able to go to be able to make that money as quickly as possible. So NDRA right here, definitely one that we want to be watching. It does have on top of that the private placement press release that just came on out, and we get it right here. Also, a little sign out here, traders. Again, this is all in real time. So again, Fox Runner is one of the only real-time news scanners. It comes out the moment it's released to the public. So for instance, this came out at 8 o'clock and 19 seconds. And as you guys can see right here, this started spiking at 8 o'clock and 19 seconds. Now, sometimes you got to catch it right when it comes on out. But how many times have we ever seen a stock come on out and start spiking for hours? Right? That's the beauty of it. But right now, NDRA is getting a little bit weaker. NDRA is starting to get a little bit of a drop. NDRA is getting a little bit of a fade. Also, if you're not good at catching news, it does just tell you the best one. I'm sure it's here. Yeah, NDRA private placement. So the thing is, team, even if you're not good at catching news, over in the news alerts tab, it'll just tell you what's the best one out of every wave so that you guys have it the moment it comes on out. Okay? So make sure that you guys are all set here. You guys are all ready to rock and roll. NDRA, unfortunately, does not have any shares available to short at this moment. Or actually, it does. It's just very expensive. Today's been a very expensive day for shorts. I haven't located any shares whatsoever for shorts because what have we had? We've had $400 shorts, $500 shorts. You know, all these shorts have just been so damn expensive throughout the entire day. So NDRA is still the best 8 o'clock press release wave, $6 up towards $11.50. And now again, it's going to try to see if it can re-squeeze $10, right? But that's what happens a lot of times. You know, maybe a stock goes on a spike from news, comes back on down, and then re-squeezes later on, right? We see that happen a lot, but right now it is just NDRA. People are going to watch to see, can this one get back above that $10 and squeeze back up towards, you know, $12 or so. But this is how a lot of people make some big money. This is how a lot of people make those big profits. This is how a lot of people, again, get themselves involved over on these trades and be able to get that hype and excitement. Right now, NDRA, watching to see if this one can be able to pop itself on up and keep going a little bit more here. And again, that's the private placement. So if you guys don't, just little heads on up, I have it, you know, in green, but over in the keyword section. So this is how I do it, guys. Over in the keyword section, these are some of the words I always look for. Notice right here in the bottom right-hand corner, it says placement, and it's highlighted in green, and it also has the voice alert. So I've noticed over the last 2 weeks, whenever a company comes out with a private placement press release, we have seen very big spikes. So what I did was I typed in placement, and now whenever a private placement press release comes on out, it's highlighted in green towards me. The little money bag sign comes on up, and also a voice alert reads that press release. I know you guys probably didn't hear the voice alert, but it came out on my end, and that's how I found it instantly. Okay? So I want you guys to just always understand that's what I'm looking for. I'm always looking for these hot keywords, these hot press releases, these hot movers. And if you understand what are the words to be looking for, what's the hottest trend, you're going to be one of the first people involved into them. So right now, NDRA going on that nice squeeze. So yes, if you guys have not added the word private placement on your press release, make sure you guys go do that so that you guys are all set, ready to go. Or over on your Fox Runner so that you guys are all set and you guys don't miss a beat. So NDRA still trying to squeeze itself on up a little bit. This one might get above $10. I have no current entries at this moment. Let's see if this one does squeeze. Guys, it's trying to squeeze its way back on up. Here comes that little short squeeze. A lot of people are probably shorting this around $10. Shorters are getting squeezed out slightly right here. NDRA, as I said, I look to be able to short this play. It just kind of became too expensive. Let's see if we can still get some. Before it was $500. Oh, it's actually a lot cheaper now. It's $148. Okay, that's actually not that bad. That's a 14-cent move. So team, these are actually getting cheaper right now. So again, maybe if we give it a little bit more time, they can get more shares available to be able to locate the short, especially if this one can start spiking its way on up towards $11. That could be the next shorting opportunity. But NDRA right now just had a little bit of a pop trying to get back above that area. $10 is going to be some strong resistance. Are we going to be able to hold 10? If it does, we could squeeze all the way up towards, again, new highs. So this stock is still trying to squeeze here off that private placement press release. This is right now, as you guys can see, the number 4 top gainer in the stock market, only 750,000 in float. So is it going to be able to get above $10 and hold $10 is the main question. Get above $10, hold $10 is the main question here. 2. Still trying to build those highs. Still looking for that squeeze. I'm not in on this play yet either, traders. Let me bring over my P&L. So far, again, I've traded one stock today, and I broke 100% even. So I went 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So as you guys know, I got involved on CHNR today, looking for the dip buy and bounce buy. But even this, guys, can we take a second? What did we have here? What did I teach you? Can we just go back here for a second and just think about what did Dek teach us? Well, Dek taught us to always be looking for around that 45% pullback is the best. Can we just test this out to see if this worked here? This play went from what area? $6, okay, $6. And we spiked on up towards, can we just round it up to 12? $11.85. That is a $6 move. So half of that, a 50% drop, would be a $3 drop. Now, what would be about like a 45% drop? Let's just say instead of a $3 drop, let's go with like $2.75. The play went from nearly $12, right? And then we started, $11.85, and then we started pulling on back. Where towards? Right around that $8.50 area. So the thing is, team, this is right within that 45, 50% pullback area. This is what we like to be able to see. We like to be able to see the spike. Don't buy in at the very tippity top. Wait for the pullback. Try to get filled somewhere in that middle area before, again, the reversal back on up. The main issue with so many stock traders, and you guys probably already know this, is a stock comes out with a hot press release. The stock spikes its way all the way on up. People, again, say, oh, let me buy in. They buy in at the very tippity top. They end up getting crushed and the stock dumps on down. As the stock dumps on down, they all get out of their position. They say, man, I stink. I always buy in at the very tippity top. And now guess what? You're getting out where the dip buy is. The dip buy starts happening. The stock starts moving on up. You say, oh, man, I shouldn't have gotten out. Time for me to jump back in. You jump back on in at the very tippity top. The stock now is at old resistance. The stock falls back on down. You say, man, I stink. This is why, again, my wife has a boyfriend. And now, again, the stock starts falling back on down. Now, again, the stock starts falling. You say, you know what? I know last time I got out right here. I'm not getting out. Dip buy is going to happen. Little dip buy happens. The stock falls back on down. Now you say, I'm a loser. I stink. Every single time I trade stocks, I end up losing all my money. Hey, my wife deserves to have a boyfriend. Team, how many people have ever fallen to that trap? The thing is, what you are doing right now is just completely opposite of what you're supposed to be doing. Isn't that crazy? If you are a person that is constantly losing, you are just, it's almost impressive. You are doing everything wrong. Okay, that sounded a little bit mean, but I'd rather get it through your head right now. The thing is, if you are this guy, hey, Dek, I see a big time spike. Oh, yes, I always buy at the top looking for more. Then the stock dumps on down, you get out. But then again, shortly after, it bounces back up. Then you think it's going to explode, so you buy back on in. Then shortly after that, the stock crashes back on down. You have to get out of the habit of buying at the top and selling at the bottom. You have to start thinking, do the opposite. Stocks do the opposite of our natural instincts. When a stock spikes up huge, don't buy it, short it. When a stock crashes on down, don't short it, buy it. Does that make sense? I know it's very difficult. It's kind of very tough to kind of figure out, but you got to start putting yourself in that mindset. So there's the NDRA little squeeze all the way back on up here. So that is awesome to be able to see. That is so great to be able to realize. And again, that's a play that we saw all together at the time of what? 8 o'clock. We were the first one to alert that right here, team. Live on StockTwits, live on Tradecaster, live. Sean Dekmar here in the midst, baby. That's what, you know, all doing it together. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely incredible. And now again, NDRA is getting a little bit of weakness. NDRA is starting to drop. NDRA is starting to fade at this time. Now, Dek, what would you say is next over on NDRA? Spike on up, dump on down, spike on up. Again, people usually buy at the top. Now it starts dumping back on down. We could see maybe it's going to get a little bit of this uptrend. Maybe we can see if this uptrend, notice all the lower shadows right here. Lower shadow, lower shadow, lower shadow. If you want to short it, definitely try to short this play back above like 1080. You know, somewhere near around 1080 or so, that's probably going to be a better area for you to be able to short because you just have more room to be able to fall. Again, think about it more as that. You know, do I have more room to be able to spike or do I have more room to be able to fall? Right? So NDRA, can I be able to make money on this play? Can I get myself involved over on this play? If this play, again, spikes on up towards, you know, that 1120 mark, how many shares? You know, 920 shares I just got located over on this play. Let's start with maybe 400 shares. You know, a little pop back up towards around that 1080-ish mark. We could be able to make a little bit of money. Again, 1080 seems like it's like the main resistance line right now. 1080, some main resistance. Maybe if it gets a little bit of a pop on up towards around like that 1099-ish mark, we could do again a couple little more shares. So I just want to see. And again, what would be a good stop loss? If this thing ever starts squeezing through $11, you just kind of have to get out and just accept the loss. But right now here, team, what I would be saying is where's the best area to look for shorts? Best area to look for shorts is around this red line. Could be slightly above this red line. Could be slightly underneath this red line, right? The best area to get out of your short would be back down towards around like 950, okay? So, guys, I just got filled. 400 shares, I just got filled. Where at? 1080. I have 800 shares filled. Just got filled. 1090. I'm going to try to just get filled right next to this red line. See if we can get a pullback back down towards the low 10s. Okay? Right now, traders, let's see if I can make 500 bucks here. $500, I'll be happy. I'm in at around the 1090 mark, 1089, getting filled at the red line, looking to see if we're going to get a pullback back down to sub 1050 with 800 shares and see if we can get a nice little drop. So I'm not trying to do anything complicated. As I said, I'm shorting next to the top rather than buying the top, looking for pullbacks to get out near the bottoms. Right now, we're up $188. Let's see if we can get that weakness and that fade in that drop, crack again the bids underneath 1050, and start falling back down to sub $10. Up $300 here. 1050s, 1050s are still trying to hold on up a little bit. 1050s on the bids. Those are the buyers. Left side is the buyers. 1060, 1050s. Let's just get a nice little drop down to like 1025 real quick. Buyers are getting a little slower here. 1060s, 1080s, up $11, back to 1080s. Hold on. Right now, guys, I'm down 80 bucks. Now I'm back to even. Stock had a little bit of a spike right there. Got to be careful on this play. Don't want to get caught up in a short squeeze. Right now, guys, I'm down 400. It's a little all over the place here, team. I'm still at 1080. Now, again, it's back on down towards 11. Big upper shadow right there. Right now, again, I'm not adding more than 800 shares either, traders. I'm just kind of letting this go. Don't want to get squeezed out, but I don't mind the big, long upper shadow. Big, long upper shadow here, team, usually shows that a reversal is going to be near. Hold on here a second. Let's just be careful on this one. 800 shares. Stock is still holding. If it holds $11 here, I have to get out because I don't want it to squeeze up to $12 plus. But if this thing crashes right back underneath $11, then we're getting... guys, I'm going to move on from this play. Going to move on from this play, get out, not going to be risking getting a short squeeze on this play. Deck, do you still like the play that you were looking at? I like my play. I like my idea. I can't hold it if a short squeeze happens, though. So what were you looking for? Again, red line touch, reverse. Red line touch, reverse. Red line touch, looking for that reversal. Last thing I can do, though, is keep on holding and hoping. What's the holding and hoping method? Holding and hoping is let me hold it, and hopefully it comes back on down at some point. That's usually where you get yourself in the most amount of trouble. I would rather not do that. Well, Deck, if you kept on holding, it's back on down towards $11 right now. That's not the way I want to trade. I jump in with, again, an entry with an exit, and I do my best to try to stick to that entry and exit. Right now, NDRA is still the best play here, and I will tell you right now here, traders, if I kept on holding, I'd probably be in some serious trouble as it's still going up higher and higher and higher. So, Deck, what's the next area that you can get filled for? Let's see if this thing is going to squeeze. Let's see if this thing's going to go on a little bit of a rip and run. Now, NDRA, guess what happened? This is the play that came on out with what? NDRA came on out with the private placement. Private placement came on out, $14.4 million. Stock again started getting that hype and ripping and running, and people said, oh, wow, it's game time. So NDRA still trying to squeeze. First loss of the day here. I am only down a little bit, only 700 bucks at this time. All I need is one good solid trade, get myself again back into the green here, be able to make myself some money. High of the day so far is 12.11. And again, right now we're going to see, are we going to be able to hold? Deck, would you ever look for an entry back up near around that top? Again, you always got to be nervous that those short squeezes can always potentially happen. So I have to be careful on that. I would always be looking for, if I'm going to look for another re-entry, I'd rather look for a new high of the day entry, to be honest. Maybe 200 shares up towards around 1224. What am I doing here? Maybe up towards, again, like the 1219 mark. 200 shares, short that. Then again, maybe if it goes up towards like 1241. I don't know the exact high, so I'm kind of spreading out some entries and seeing if I can get the best overall entry out there. 1261. But I don't even know if this is going to get filled. If it does, great. If it doesn't, then you know what? I'll wait for a new, better entry in the future. But if this one starts fading and falling and you are short, again, the blue line is the next dip buy. Just a little heads on up. So the blue line is the next dip buy here for every single person. Bounce play, bounce play, bounce play, bounce play. We know dip buy is the blue line, or again, that is going to be where you cover your shorting position. So as you guys know, I do not ever like buying the tops. I like, again, buying the bottoms. I like shorting the tops and, of course, covering at the bottoms. I will look for entries if we start squeezing up towards a new high over on NDRA and we start going up towards like 1240, 1250, 1260. So next entry I will be looking for will be in the mid to high 12s for a new high of the day, and then looking for a short on there. Yes, I'm going to give it a chance, but also, of course, you have to have a stop loss as always. And again, a stop loss doesn't always have to be an actual order in on your broker, but you just as in discipline, as in saying, hey, I'm not going to blow up my account. Let me again make sure I'm like getting out of a play if it's going against me. You know what I mean? So again, the thing is, I'm always willing to give a stock a chance. People are, again, always nervous to pull the trigger. Guys, you're never going to be a great stock trader if you're nervous to pull the trigger, right? If you're nervous to jump into a play, you're never going to make money. If you're nervous of heights, you're probably not going to be a good airline pilot. If you're nervous of the ocean, you're not going to be a good scuba diver. You just have to be able to say to yourself, hey, you know what? If I want to be a stock trader, you got to put yourself in on these positions. You got to be willing to lose 700 to win 2,000. You have to be willing to lose 1,000 to win 5,000. You have to be willing to go through red to see yourself in the green. It's extremely important as a trader. Right now here, team, we're going to see if the stock can be able to continue to spike and rip and run. NDRA still the #1 best play. Let's see if any other alerts came out over on Fox Center here. Let's go. Nope, NDRA still the best one. Came out at 8:01 a.m. So again, 8:01 a.m. And again, for every single person, you know, that it all comes on down in the stock market. First come to first serve. Traders, I think we just got a new pop right here. Hold on a second. I'm probably in on my position. So NDRA here, traders. I am in on my position right now. NDRA, I am in on my position right now at this time with 1,100 shares on the short side, and I am not having fun as I am getting squeezed. So let's see here if NDRA could get a little bit of a pullback. Currently down at this time. Over on my NDA short. Deck, where you in at? 1250. My entry is at 1250 at this moment. I am not having a good time. I am not enjoying this as I am in the red. Let's see what we can do here. So, see if we get a nice pullback, see if we get a nice drop. NDRA did just get that new squeeze up towards that high. Probably going to have to get out of this one just to be a smart trader and just kind of accept my loss. But we will see if we get that upper shadow and reverse. But am I enjoying this? No, this is not fun. This is not pleasurable in any sort of way. Right now, guys, we are down again 1700s. Looking to see if we can get ourselves back into the green here. We are currently up 120% at this moment. High of the day is 1468. Watching to see, can we be able to get a pullback and that drop? Fingers on the trigger to get out. NDRA, 1,100 shares on the short side right now. Here's again the chart. We got the live chart here. We got the level 2 right here. Watching to see where we're at. Deck, where's your entry? My entry is going to be right here at that red line. Red line is my current entry for anyone who needs to kind of get a better understanding of where it is currently at. Stock is still getting a little bit of a squeeze here. Let's see if we can drop back underneath the 14s. Right now, 14s are still holding up pretty well. So 14s are still holding up pretty well. I'm currently down $2,000 on the day. So I'm down $2,000 on the day right now. Watching to see, are we going to break 15? It's been a pretty hot stock so far. First little pullback, but this stock still looks rather strong. Right now here, traders. NDRA, hottest stock in the stock market. Getting a little bit of that pullback right now. #1 top gainer on the day. Let's see, I'm currently down 1,000 though. Still currently down 1,000 on the day right here. So we want to see if NDRA, again, I need to get to that red line to be able to see again that, you know, kind of get myself back into the green in any sort of sense here. So NDRA, we are up 111%. I am not having a good morning, and we are going to see if NDRA is going to fall. It's like, hey, man, you know what? You know what? Screw it! NDRA at this moment here, team. Still, again, holding itself on up here slightly. Currently down again $1,600 on the day. 1,100 shares at this moment. Watching to see, can we be able to get a nice fade and fall? 1250 cost basis. Sean Dekmar's in at, again, 1250. Stock's currently at $14. Still has that potential squeeze, but I hope not. But it's still, again, fighting for it a little bit. But so far, 2 entries that have gotten squeezed out of. 2 entries that I have gotten squeezed. 2 entries, 2 squeezes. But this is the live entertainment on ESPN 8, the Ocho, that everyone's looking for. This is the ESPN 8, the Ocho that we all want to see. Buckle up. Get some pay-per-view. Grab some popcorn and a bottle of tequila. It's 8:22 in the morning. Right now here, team, want to see, can we be able to get a nice little fade? See if we can be able to crash back on down towards that 1250-ish mark. I'm still holding my play. Currently down again $1,200 over on this trade. So, right now, traders, looking to see what we can do on this day. Looking to see how we can be able to react. Looking to see how we can be able to recoup. And you guys, of course, have my live P&L right here. Also, here's my positions. If you guys need to see anything, NDRA, Deck, where did you get filled? 1219, 1240, 1249, 1260, 1269. These are all my shorting starting entries that I just did. So these are all, again, my entries at, again, these times. Of course, here's all my positions if you guys ever need to see them in any sort of way. Okay? So, as always, I do not hide wins. I do not hide losses. I do not hide entries. I like to show you guys everything. And the reason is because, again, you guys gain value from seeing me win, by seeing me lose, by seeing, again, my live entries, by seeing my P&Ls, by seeing it. You guys, that's how you guys gain value. You guys don't gain value without seeing things. You guys don't see value without seeing the live trade. You guys don't see value without it being in real time. You guys don't get value without any other way. So right here, team, we got to see, can we be able to crack that $13 mark and actually get that fade and fall back on down? Can we actually crack that area and start getting that drop, getting that weakness here? So right now, I am in the red. And again, basically, I have that little voice in my head. I'm going to be honest with you. That little voice in my head says, hey, Deck, we can cut out right here. Take about a $1,300 loss and cut out. And that wouldn't hurt in any sort of way, right? Or again, I can keep on holding. Now, what's the pro and con if I keep on holding? If you keep on holding, there is a chance that this squeezes and spikes up to $15. If you keep on holding, there's also the chance that it squeezes and drops on down towards around that $12 mark. So the thing is, you do have, of course, the pro and the con, the left and the right. You have both sides that could be able to happen. Now, it comes on down to $12.50 could be an amazing entry. Again, I've invested about $15,000 over on this play. If this stock can be able to actually get the fade and fall, guess what? We could go all the way down to 10. We could go all the way down to 9. I could be able to make $3,000 on this play here today, and that would be absolutely amazing. But it is going to be, is this the actual top on NDRA? Is NDRA topping on out? And yes, I got in a little bit too early, but is this going to fade on down to 12? Is it going to fade on down towards 11? Guys, right now I'm down $300. So here comes the crash here. Can I actually be able to profit off of this? Are we going to be able to fade? Or is this going to be one of those times that, you know what, it bounces back on up and starts moving? But right now, we're at least on the right side of momentum here. Stock is trying to get a little bit of a fade and fall, watching to see, are we going to actually get that dump and sell off? So still, again, holding my position. Yes, there's always that both sides. Yes, there's always the woulda, coulda, shoulda. Yes, guys, hey, Deck, you should have added here. Yes, Deck, you could have always entered here. Yes, Deck, whatever. But right now here, team, we're actually looking to get back into the green. So right now here, team, we are down $3 and we are back in the green somehow. Somehow, team, we're starting to have fun. Somehow we're starting to do it. Somehow we're doing things. Some freaking how. Somehow, baby. Somehow. I'm just going to get out and just somehow get myself back into a reasonable position. Okay. All right, guys. Okay, that wasn't fun. Let's be honest here, team. Let's not do that again. Okay? I had fun. I got out of that play. Let's not do that again. Okay, let's just make an agreement that that wasn't a good time. All right? So I was down on the day almost $3,000. I, again, was able to finish back into the green, eliminate some of my old loss, and now I'm down $450 on the day. Okay. I wasn't having fun there, but now I'm starting to have fun again. Okay. Does anyone got that bottle of tequila I was asking for? Okay. Right now, NDRA. We are getting ourselves ready now for what's next. What's next is we have another 8:30 press release wave. No, geez. Okay. I might gotta calm down here a little bit at this moment because yes, you know, my entry was a little bit early over on that play. NDRA starting to fade on off. Good job if you guys got some shorts. I'm happy to, again, be able to recoup my losses and be able to do things. But again, I got to show it. Got to show it live. Name another person that's showing their trades live, because you know what? All I see over on X, all I see over on StockTwits, all I see over on Instagram a lot of times is people saying, hey guys, I'm doing the 1 penny challenge. Okay, I just turned 1 penny into $3 million. And it has like 7,000 likes. And people are like, you're amazing. And it's like, show me how you did it. No, just trust me. Here's a picture of some hot chick. Guys, right now, NDRA is fading and falling. Getting a little bit of a drop all the way back on down. Now, today's also going to be a very fun and very exciting day as well, because I do want to throw this out here. Today we are actually also going to be trading our prop firm. So if anyone is interested in on this, this does start today at 9:30. So today at 9:30, little heads up for every single person. One Stop Prop is hosting a free 100% free prop firm tournament this week. So the rules are simple. Make the most amount of money over the next 5 days, and you win a $50,000 traded account. Imagine how your life can change with a free $50,000 traded account. So guys, little heads on up. If you guys do not know, first place, $50K instantly funded account. Second, $100K one step. 3 one step, 40% off all prop accounts. 5 40% off prop accounts. So traders, little heads on up. Here's the link right here. This is absolutely free for every single person to be able to sign up towards, and you guys will be all set, ready to rock and roll. So this is what I'm going to be doing this week as well, where we are going to be trading. Again, this is how it works. It's all fake money. It's all fake money. Go crazy, go wild, have fun, and then whoever wins at the end of the week gets a $50,000 funded account. So go crazy. There's no fee whatsoever to enter this. If you just want to win a free $50,000 prop account, you guys are all ready to rock and roll. So here is the link for you guys to go sign up for the free prop account challenge. I will be doing it, so you will be competing against me. Let me again get after this here, post this, so that you guys are all set. But we do have the new 8:30 press release wave coming on up here. I'm going to post this over in the YouTube chat, but I did post this over on my Twitter, over my StockTwits. Prop account tournament. And these are always fun because, guys, it just, hey, if you win, you get free stuff. Nothing's better than having a free tournament and getting free stuff. All right, team, it's 8:29 right now. Let's get ourselves prepared. Guys, NDRA, nice sell-off. NDRA, guys, woo! Hey, maybe I was right with the short. Maybe I was right. Guys, CHNR came on out with phase 1 trials. Let's look for the next press release. CHNR, we do have a BLBX with a press release. Oh, CRML, is that one getting the hype? CRML? Nope, not there yet. Hold on, we're looking to see which one's going to be able to get the most of the attention. Let's see what's going to take on off here at 8:30. MAMO, I'm looking to see all the press. Notice again, I'm only doing low floats as well. I'm not doing every single, again, press release out there. Bitcoin press release. BMNR comes out with a press release now every single day. It's not really that exciting. Nothing yet. Nothing yet going crazy. We're ready for it. We have Fox Runner right there. We have trade ideas. We are all good. Guys, NDRA is getting that dump. Hey, if you guys short at 1250 with me, congrats. ORBS. Make strategic investment to accelerate human verification and digital identity in gaming. Could that get some hype? Maybe if that one starts breaking ORBS, maybe if that one starts breaking that $10 mark, that one could start getting some hype. Notice again, we were just a wee little early. NDRA team did crash on down towards $14 all the way down to 10. So it did get that drop. Again, to be frank with you, once being down $2,000, I kind of just wanted to get back to even. So, I just wanted to get myself back into the green in some sort of way. And again, make $300 off that trade. So NDRA, that's the trade that I still have a loss on, but only down 400. That's like peanuts, guys. Not really that big of a deal with, again, stock trading. We can make that back very quickly. Guys, BLBX is starting to squeeze. BLBX right now. All eyes over on BLBX. BLBX announces its merger target with a 10-year off agreement. So BLBX, all traders, all focus over on this play right here and right now over on BLBX. So that one just started ripping and running, does have a merger agreement. And this one's also talking about rare metals. Now, Deck, why is that important? Because rare metals has been a super hot topic. With Trump, he talks about that all the time. China talks about that all the time. Rare metals. So maybe, again, that is going to start getting some hype and start getting some activity towards it. So I would definitely just kind of keep that one on your back burner to see if that one is going to be able to get any sort of squeezing and popping and ripping. Possibly could be a nice little short as well if BLBX, goes on a quick little rip, and then we could short this play right back on down. But yeah, BLBX, guys, this is the press release. It says BLBX announces its merger target, links LOI for a 10-year offtake agreement with critical metals, so CRML, to strengthen Northern America rare earth independence. So BLBX, quick little spike, quick little rip. Have that up on the level 2. Let's just see how much shares are available to short. BLBX, 1,000 shares. Inquire about this. Locate lowest. Let's just see how much that's going to cost. Cost $80 if we wanted to short that play. $80 if we want to short that play. If we think that one might start getting a little bit weaker, start coming back on down. Stock is trying to get a little bit of squeeze right now. 200 share increments. What's the high of the day? $14. Maybe if this one gets up towards like 13.40, I might look for some shorts up into the 13s. 13.40, do a little bit of a short. 13.30, do a little bit of a short. I like that. Oh, guys, I only got a little bit in right here. I am going to get myself involved over on BLBX. BLBX, guys, got myself only involved with 200 shares at 13.40. 13.40, got 200 shares filled. Not much, but I got at least a little something in on that upper shadow right there. Up 300 right now, 200 shares at 13.40. 13.40, guys, now it's starting to dump. I'm up $500. 500. There we go. Keep on dumping. $11 right here. Let's see if this one can crash all the way down towards like 10.50. So I'm making back my loss at least, which is awesome. Up $400. Let's see if this cracks under 11. If this goes underneath 11, guys, and this is why I love finding the hot news, going on big spikes, and then trying to short it right back on down. If this crashes underneath 11, we'll get ourselves back into the green on the day. And then again, be able to kind of kick off the day fresh. Now, sometimes that's what it is. Sometimes you take a loss and then you make it all back. Guys, up $600, $600 right here. Let's go, baby. Can we crack under 10? Under 10. Oh, $700. $700. All right, guys, up $700. And now we actually are up green on the day. Amazing job. Amazing work. And we just finished off our morning here over on StockTwits. I know, again, things just got a little bit crazy, but it's awesome. So, guys, a little bit of a crazy morning, a little bit of a fun morning here so far. NDRA, we lost $450 on. Let's just be honest. Can we just go through this here? StockTwits, give me 2 minutes here. We had NDRA. I lost this morning, right? NDRA. I tried to short this play. Right here's my shorting over on NDRA. Unfortunately, I lost on this play. I got squeezed out. I shorted again, as you guys know, at like 10.90. I got out at 11.70. Gave it some time to dump. Didn't work out. Then on top of that, guys, this play, we tried to short it again, right? We shorted it again. We ended up losing. But then we went from 12.50 mark, and we were able to profit on the short to get back some of that loss. Then we finished off with a $400 loss. But then right there, BLBX just came out with news. BLBX, again, came out with news. We saw it right away over on Fox Runner. Says again, BLBX talks about rare earth metals. Again, I'm sure it's alerted here too. So again, right here, BLBX come on out with their target reloads inks on LOI for, again, a 10-year offtake. This play went on that very big spike. Low float stock, had a hot press release, but instead I shorted it back on down, 13.40 down to 19.90, was able to make nearly $700. And right now we are up nearly $300 on the morning. So a little bit crazy, a little bit wild, and a little bit nuts. Traders, if you guys want to keep this fun going, if you guys are over on StockTwits, we are going live over on Tradecaster right now. So if you guys want to come watch me live stream, watch me continue to trade it, enjoy the party. We're going to throw on some tunes. We're going to have some fun. We're going to pass out some jungle juice. And it's going to be an absolutely amazing Stocktober coming on up. So come on over here right now. Everyone does get a free 7-day pass over on tradecaster.com. You guys will be all ready to rock. That is tradecaster.com. And let's get ready to go using trade ideas, Fox Runner. And also, if you guys haven't, sign up right now to the One Stop Prop Tournament. The One Stop Prop Tournament, I am joining that. I am doing that live today. And again, we get to compete against each other. That's going to be a lot of fun. All right? Hey, StockTwits Nation, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I'm out of here. And again, I'll see you guys over on tradecaster.com. Thank you, guys.